What's up, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse? Welcome back to the Marvelous Wave, and today we're coming at you with more Spider-Man news. But today we won't just be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home, we'll be talking about the film coming out this year, Spider-Man Across the SpiderVerse, which is the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, one of my personal favorite, if not my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, with the only real competitor being No Way Home. Anyway friends, first we're giving away a Spider-Man figure as well as an Iron Spider helmet, so if you're interested in either of those toys, all you have to do is like our video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let us know in the comments down below what potential cameo in Multiverse of Madness do you want to see the most. Obviously the multiverse is a huge part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward, as a lot of fans aren't even calling it the MCU, but are rather calling it the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, or the MCM. With the multiverse officially breaking open on the big screen in No Way Home, previously in Loki, there is the potential to do so much with various characters from different multiverses. And with that, integrating the film that really started it all, that being Into the Spider-Verse, as well as its sequel, Across the Spider-Verse. This comment comes from producers from Across the Spider-Verse, which directly hinted the idea that the MCU and Across the Spider-Verse will interconnect in the sequel, and that Tom Holland and Zendaya could actually return to voice their characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the MCU Spider-Man. During the press tour of Spider-Man No Way Home, Tom Holland said that he was just waiting for a call for him to appear and voice Peter Parker in that film, but that he hadn't got a call just yet. However, Tom Holland not getting this call yet isn't that much of a shocker, as they were still currently in production for Across the Multiverse, or Across the Spider-Verse. Multiverse, Spider-Verse, it's all getting a bit confusing. The writers have actually gone on record in an interview saying that the director and all of them are buddies, and that they know the people involved in Spider-Man No Way Home really well, and that they didn't want to step on each other's toes, and telling different types of stories was very important to them, with different themes and all that stuff, because people want an original story that feels new and interesting, and it's their job to give the people what they want. In an interview though, the writers for Across the Spider-Verse talked about how anything is possible in the multiverse except for one thing which everyone seems to want, referring to Tom Holland and Zendaya actually appearing in Across the Spider-Verse. But does he actually mean what he's saying here and say that this is not possible at all? Well, of course not. They're all owned by the same company, that being Sony, and it's very likely that Miles Morales from Across the Spider-Verse will actually interact with Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man at some point, whether or not it's in Across the Spider-Verse or not, with Tom Holland maybe going on another multiversal journey, or potentially, more likely, just having a small cameo, as it's likely that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will in fact just be a cameo in Across the Spider-Verse if what the writers are hinting at is in fact true, and the fact that Tom Holland and Zendaya both said that they would be hugely interested in returning as these characters in Across the Spider-Verse. And now the fact that the writers and producers are basically openly saying, yeah, this is something that we're planning, by saying that they're not planning it, is a huge deal and big news. What could be really interesting though is if we see this version of Miles Morales in animation eventually appear in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, this seems to be a little bit unlikely. It would be really cool to see, and it's unknown at this point in time if they would want to continue with Miles Morales, this version, strictly in animation, or whether or not he wants to make the jump into live action and appear in the MCU. Tom Holland has gone on record multiple times saying that he eventually wants to hand the torch over to either a Gwen Stacy or a Miles Morales to take upon them the role of Spider-Man. And Tom Holland has said that if he's playing the role of Peter Parker when he's in his 30s, he's done something wrong. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? And what are your thoughts on the writers basically confirming that yes, it's very much an option for these characters to appear in Across the Spider-Verse? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I hope you have a great day.